So where are you taking my mum today?
I was thinking of taking her to the zoo.
Why the bloody hell would you take my mum to the zoo?
Well, it actually serves multiple purposes.
Oh, this I have to hear.
Well, it's nature, so your mom gets to see that I am one with my environment.
That's a load of rubbish, but go on.
It's outdoors, so we'll get plenty of fresh air, which in turn is good for her health.
Since when do you care about her health? But go on.
And finally, I get a chance to feed her to the lions.
Okay, now that I believe.
You shouldn't.
And why's that?
Since when do they have lions at the zoo?
Good point. You could always feed her to the deer.
To the deer? Just how cruel do you think I am? I mean, the poor deer.
So you do have a heart after all.
Whatever may come our way, we'll deal with it day to day. We hope you'll be there while we're living in our timeshare.
So, how are your sessions with Steve Rogers going?
Oh, Stephanie, you know I can't discuss my patients with you.
I know. It was worth a try.
So, are you finally going to tell me what's been bothering you?
This isn't going to be easy for me to talk about.
But you know it's something you have to do if you're going to get through it.
I know. Well, it started with girls' night.
Girls' night?
Yes, all the girls got together and we talked. Well, during the conversation, Steve's sister Martina shared something very personal about Steve with us, and it shocked the hell out of me.
And what was that?
Growing up, Steve developed a very unhealthy obsession with his mum.
What kind of obsession?
Use your imagination.
Oh, that!
Needless to say, I was repulsed, and to make matters worse, it came out that he's attracted to my mum.
I see.
Dr. Einstein, I find the whole thing totally disgusting.
Stephanie, let me ask you a question. Does Steve come from a broken home?
As a matter of fact, he does. How did you guess?
Because obsessions like these are very common for men who come from broken homes. In fact, 67% of men who do come from broken homes develop these feelings for their mothers.
But why?
Lots of reasons, mostly because children need a parent to cling on to because their fathers have abandoned them. Over time, this becomes sexual. In early stages, boys even want to marry their mothers. But eventually, they outgrow this obsession.
But he hasn't, and his mum is long gone, but it doesn't seem to matter.
So he's transferred these feelings to your mother?
Exactly. So I came up with this insane plan that I hope to God works.
And what plan was that?
I told Steve to date my mum. I figured eventually he'd get tired of her, given that she can be a very wretched human being when she wants to be.
So is it working?
I don't know. They've been dating over a month and they're still together. And the worst part is, I think she's actually enjoying it.
What about Steve?
I can't tell. We hardly speak to each other anymore.
It seems to me that you're trying to fix one problem by causing another one.
So you think this was a bad idea?
If it doesn't work, a very bad idea.
Well, I don't know what else to do.
Do you still love Steve Rogers?
I don't know. Right now, I'm just too upset to know anything.
Well, there's one piece of advice I can give you.
And what's that?
Don't make any life-altering decisions while you feel like this. Wait until your head is a little more clear.
What if my head never gets clear?
It will eventually. This situation isn't going to last forever.
Dr. Einstein, what if Steve Rogers and my mom fall in love?
Do you really think that's possible?
For my mom, absolutely. Steve Rogers is very much like my dad. I'm afraid that my mom is genuinely going to fall for him.
But what about Steve Rogers?
I don't know. He says he still loves me.
Do you believe him?
I don't know what I believe. All I know is I'm scared.
What exactly is it you're scared of?
That I'm going to lose him forever.
I can't believe you took me to the zoo.
I thought it would be cultural.
If I want culture, I'll eat a yogurt.
Did you two have a good time?
Does it sound like it?
It's hard to tell. Mum always sounds like that. It's one of the two things in the world that you can count on. That and the grim reality that Survivor is never going off the air.
Talk about survival. I almost got eaten by a deer.
I told you not to get too close.
You didn't have to push me.
I slipped.
So where did you go after the zoo?
He took me out to eat.
I hope someplace nice for a change.
Oh, sure. He upgraded me from McDonald's to Burger King.
It's the home of the Whopper.
The only Whopper was the bill that you stuck me with.
I'm sorry. I left my credit card home.
Why wasn't it in your wallet?
I'll tell you why. He was on his computer buying porn.
You buy porn with all the free smut on the internet?
This was a special kind of porn.
What was so special about it?
Use your imagination.
Seems like I've been doing a lot of that lately. Oh, bloody hell, you didn't!
He did.
You mean they actually have mothers and...
Yes, I'm sorry. I can't help myself.
The boy has no self-control.
This isn't working, is it?
What do you mean?
I thought by dating my mom it would cure your obsession, but it just seems to have made it worse.
Oh, please. He's the worst date a woman could ever want to have.
Why is that?
I'll tell you when we're alone. I don't want to hurt Wesley's feelings.
When has that ever stopped you?
Fine, we'll talk later.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to go wash that deer off my body.
Tell me the truth.
Always.
You're enjoying dating my mom, aren't you?
Underneath that gruff exterior, she's actually a nice person.
She can be.
Honestly, I don't mind her company.
Have you slept with her yet?
No, I haven't.
But you want to, don't you?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm too worried about us.
Why? You can have my mom if you want.
I'm not so sure your mom wants anything to do with me.
What makes you say that?
Because I'm not exactly the most fun date in the world. I would think you'd have a wonderful time being with an elder woman.
You would think so. But sometimes things just don't play out the way you expect them to.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying I think I'm going to stop seeing your mother.
All right, talk to me.
What do you want to talk about?
You know what I want to talk about, Mum.
Oh, right, Wesley.
Why is he such a terrible date?
Well, for starters, you should see the places he takes me to.
You knew he was cheap, Mum.
I don't mind cheap, but when your food comes with a Betty Rubble bobblehead, that's where I draw the line.
They really have those?
They're ugly little things.
But it has to be more than just where he takes you. Is he rude to you?
No, he's the perfect gentleman.
Well, that I believe.
The big problem is the conversation.
Nothing in common?
Oh, we have plenty in common.
So what's the problem?
All he talks about is you.
He does?
Constantly. Stephanie this, Stephanie that. You know how insulting it is to be out with a man and all he talks about is another woman?
Given how little I've dated thanks to you, I can't imagine what that's like.
Anyway, he goes on and on about you constantly.
What does he say about me?
Oh, you know, the usual things.
Mum, I have no idea what the usual things are.
He talks about how beautiful you are.
He thinks I'm beautiful?
Oh, please. To him, you're the next incarnation of Joan Collins.
I don't see it. Go on.
Then he's constantly talking about your legs. What is it with this guy and legs?
He's a leg man.
Could have fooled me.
What do you mean?
I've done everything to try to get him to look at my legs, sort of throwing my dress over his head.
And?
Nothing. Not one compliment on my legs.
Maybe he's just trying to be polite.
Please, he's so polite, I feel like I'm dating Richie Cunningham.
That's funny.
But the big thing is, he's constantly telling me how much he loves you.
He told you he loves me?
Oh, come on. This can't be a surprise to you.
Sure, he loves me, but he wants to sleep with my mum.
He doesn't want to sleep with your mum.
How do you know?
Because he wants to sleep with you. It's all he talks about. And quite honestly, I'm sick of hearing it. So that's it. I'm done. I'm not dating your boyfriend anymore.
I see.
I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. You're going to have to work out your problems on your own.
Mum, I don't know how to get past this obsession he has with his mum.
Find a way, because believe it or not, he loves you, and he wants to be with you physically.
Except you won't let that happen.
Past tense.
What do you mean?
I'm calling off the dogs. If you want to sleep with Wesley, go sleep with him. I'm not going to stop you.
talk? What is there to talk about? I want to apologize.
For what?
For causing all this trouble.
I think it was your brother who caused all this trouble when he decided to have the hots for my mum.
You have to understand, it's a sickness.
Dr. Einstein explained it all to me.
Our father was a miserable SOB. Thank God he did leave.
I'm sure it was for the best.
Naturally, Steve would cling to our mother.
So why didn't you?
Look at me. Obviously, I had other issues.
Obviously.
Maybe if I wasn't the way I am, I would have clung to my mom too. But I was too busy missing my dad.
He was an SOB and you missed him?
What can I say? Again, look at me.
Except look at how well adjusted you are.
It took me a long time to get this way.
I'm sure.
Getting leukemia was the thing that really made me appreciate my life.
I have no doubt that would do it.
That's why I don't want to see you ruin your life.
How am I doing that?
I know you're thinking of ending things with my bro. Don't do it. He loves you.
So he says.
He's not lying. Remember, you're the one who came up with this crazy idea for him to date your mother.
I know. And just so you know, I think they're about to break up.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
It doesn't change what your brother is.
Let me ask you a question. If he had cancer, would you leave him?
Of course not. I would be with him through the whole ordeal.
Well, this is no different. It's a disease that he has to live with.
You're not fighting fair.
When it comes to my bro, fair doesn't enter into the equation.
You really love him, don't you?
More than my own life.
I wish my brother loved me like that.
Well, my bro loves you like that.
Look, I can't make any promises.
I understand.
I mean, wanting to sleep with your own mother? It's disgusting.
Yes, it is. And it's a shame it had to happen to him.
You make it sound like he didn't have a choice.
In some ways, it was inevitable.
So Dr. Einstein says.
Did he quote the statistics?
He did.
Trust me, they're even worse.
How's that?
Because a lot of people won't admit to it.
Well, I can certainly understand that. I just wish he had told me.
Would it have made a difference? Wouldn't you still be repulsed by the whole thing?
I suppose.
This is who he is, Steph. You either accept him or you don't. But whatever you decide, do it soon. Because he doesn't deserve to be wondering if he has a future with you or not.
Well, you two were out for a long time.
We had a lot to talk about.
And boy, can he talk. And I thought his sister was a drama queen. I guess it runs in the family.
Anyway, we came to a decision.
And what was that?
We're not going to be seeing each other anymore.
Are you sure that's what you want? The hell with what he wants. He's the worst date I ever had in my life. At the end of our date,
He kisses me on my cheek. What the bloody hell is that?
You kissed my mom on the cheek?
I didn't think the lips were appropriate
Why is that?
because it just felt dirty.
Oh my God. It worked.
What worked?
My plan. I knew if he dated you long enough, it would get to a point where he couldn't even kiss you.
Daughter, he's never kissed me once.
Never?
No, Steph, never.
Why?
Because it just seemed wrong.
I see.
Don't get me wrong. I think your mom is a beautiful woman. How can she not be? I mean, look at her daughter.
It always comes back to you.
I don't know what to say.
Well, I'm not going to come between you anymore.
Meaning?
If you want to sleep with him, then sleep with him. Just try to do it when I'm not at home. I don't want to hear all the disgusting sounds you're going to make.
I do not make disgusting sounds. I'm very quiet.
Well, my daughter isn't.
Mom,
Oh, please. You think I don't hear you at night before you go to bed?
The whole house hears her.
I'm not that loud.
Oh, please. You can wake the dead, which you might have to be able to do in order to get this one to rise to the occasion.
I already know.
Well, what happens next is up to you. Don't blow it.
Hi, Steve. I'm not Captain America Rogers here with another installment of Timeshare Tidbits. Well, today it was official. Steph's mom and I broke up. I don't know whether it was the kiss on the cheek or the Happy Meal that did it, but we're over and done with. Now I'm waiting for Steph to decide whether or not she wants to be with me. With her mom giving us the okay to sleep together, the ball is now in her court. I know she still has a lot to deal with, what with me being so screwed up, but I'm hoping that her love for me will overcome her disgust at my little perversion. Okay, so maybe it's not so little. The perversion, not the other thing. Though that's not so little either. Well, when it works. Hopefully, I'll get to find out real soon, because I gotta tell you, I'm getting tired of looking at porn. I mean, it's all the same, day after day after day. I mean, it's kind of like eating the same cooking, day after day after day. I'm not really making a strong case for marriage here, am I? Well, whatever monotony there may be to marriage, your job, or just about anything in life, the pros certainly outweigh the cons. Bottom line is this: I can't imagine a day without this woman in my life. And that's all that matters. Roger's out.